From Mexico to Louisiana, the Red River down to the Laguna Madre, Texas is one big playground. Join us as we take you on some of the best outdoor adventures the Lone Star State has to offer.
Oh, there you go.
This is Fishing and Hunting Texas. This week we're back on the ranch with Wade and the crew. It's late January and we've got Aiden Hansen from Umarex Air Guns on site, and he's brought down some of the latest in Umarex's line of air guns and accessories. Now, we're no strangers to the accuracy and power of the Umarex brand.
Holy moly, an air gun.
From varmints to big game, Umarex has an air gun capable of getting the job done. We'll look at a couple of models this week, but first up is the Umarex Hammer Carbine.
All right, so I just aired up the hammer. This is the Hammer Carbine 50 caliber. We're gonna take this thing out and go see if we can't get some aoudad. There might be some pigs, and maybe a Sika deer will walk by or something like that. But anyways, we'll give it a shot. 50 cal, 2 shots, and we'll get ready to rock and roll.
Based on the original Hammer model, the Hammer Carbine offers the same accuracy and knockdown power, all with a shorter 22-inch barrel.
This is the new Umarex Hammer Carbine version. If you're climbing your deer stand or you're blind, you have to hump it around. It catches on the trees if it's a little bit longer. This is a shortened barrel version here. Still shoots 2 out of each magazine, and I'm shooting 320 grain hollow point leads. I'm sighting in at 50 yards, and I'll go from there. All right, I'm loaded up, ready to rock and roll. 4,500 PSI, 320 grain, 50 caliber bullet out of the Hammer Carbine. Of course, the first thing you do when you show up is you want to sight everything in. And so I just confirmed everything, make sure we were on target. That afternoon, you don't waste any time. So you get on the ground, and we went out that afternoon and did some hunting then, so. And we were in the tower blind and we had some animals show up. It was, whitetails, but nothing in there that was a shooter. And, of course, sneaking in there and climbing up the ladder, getting in there and getting all situated. But
sitting for a couple of hours on the first evening, we saw a few does out. A couple small antlers gleaned from the brush. But more importantly, Aiden got a chance to relax and get a lay of the land before heading in. Early the next morning, Aiden set up high in a tripod well before sunrise.
We did have an opportunity. We had some nice bucks that were coming in. They were within range, but they weren't really what we were looking for a shooter. They're a nice mature buck. But we had some aoudad come in, and they came out of the area we didn't expect. We'd say maybe they're going to come in from over here, but it's hunting, so you never know where they're going to come out. They showed up, just couldn't get them within view. And I had tree branches blocking me and all kinds of things. You're sitting in a tripod, so you can't have a 360 view. You just be sticking up in the middle of nowhere. So, but there was definitely a shooter in that bunch. If I could have got on him, and then I would have taken that opportunity. So.
After a busy morning, Aiden headed back to camp. We'll catch up with him later. Coming up, we'll head out to the field with Wade. He's got his eye on a certain buck, and he's taking along the Umarex AirSaber Elite X2. This episode of Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder. And by Umarex Air Guns, rifles, pistols, and accessories.
If you want to be here, it all starts here. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we have the widest selection of the quality brands you love to get you outdoors. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our friendly, knowledgeable outfitters will help you find the right products for your next trip. Shop with confidence with our low price guarantee. Plus, club members save even more on great gear with exclusive member pricing. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, voted America's best outdoor retailer.
of the air gun hunter. Umarex Air Guns.
The best of the best just got better. Clearer images, sharper resolution, improved target separation. That's right, better. LiveScope Plus, only from Garmin.
Everything you need, one legendary brand. Top on, Strike King.
Welcome back to Fishing and Hunting Texas. We're down on the ranch near Del Rio, set up in a ground blind with Wade Middleton and Jeff Reynolds. We're hunting whitetail with the Umarex AirSaber Elite X2.
It wasn't long until after we first sat down that we spotted our first buck. And I mean, first things out of my mind was a good buck. I mean, it's kind of dark out there. It didn't even bother looking at him through my binoculars. It was so calm that morning, so still. But he was looking at us, and so I knew he'd picked up something in the blind or heard us. But he eventually kind of chilled out. His hocks were black. I mean, he'd been pretty ruddy chasing does around. And then here come a couple of does in the brush, and then we got to kind of watch a show for a little while. There's nothing more exciting than sitting around watching deer chase each other, and you see the steam blowing out their nose, and he's pawing the ground and sniffing. And I mean, it's like they're trying to be sneaky. The old doe runs over here, and he's just kind of like, well, she doesn't see me. And he puts his head down and chases her, and of course, she's just running around left and right, and that's just one of the coolest sights that you've seen. So we had another little buck kind of come in. I'd seen him on scouting cameras. I mean, he should have been a mainframe 8-point. Didn't have any brow tines, young deer, and then right behind him was a little button buck, and they're kind of milling around out there. And the little 6 and the other 8, they kind of act like they wanted to posture up and fight a little bit, and they were kind of milling around, and we were having a good time just sitting there shooting. But the deer kind of were looking behind us a little bit, and I kept looking off to my right because that's where that cottonseed feeder was. When a deer that I'd had my sights on all season long kind of popped out to our right, and you could just see his antlers shining. I mean, when you know a deer's a shooter, you know right away, and there was no doubt, no doubt. And this buck, you could tell he knew something wasn't right, but he wanted to be out in the mix of all this, and he's kind of easing around, and he crosses, from our right to our left. And all those other deer, I mean, they're not 10 or 12 yards away. I can't move. And he kind of works down that trail, kind of goes in and around behind a mesquite bush, and he's just posturing. And I'm thinking, man, if sooner or later, I'm going to have to make some moves to get into position. Well, I decided to make a move, and I moved at the wrong time. I mean, I kind of got busted, but it was a subtle move, not enough to ruin it. And everything kind of reset and moved. He got off behind the deal, and I kind of had a shot, but I wasn't excited about it. And I was hoping he would get out in that shaded area in front of us. And sure enough, it wasn't long. He started walking that way. My heart's pounding. I'm ready to shoot. I want this deer. We've been on pins and needles for about 5 minutes, but you just got to be as patient as you possibly can.
We just crushed him. I mean, that is a cool big old 9-point. What an awesome morning.
Wade made a great shot with the Umarex AirSaber Elite X2, but now the real work begins. And then we'll head out with Jeff Reynolds as he tries out the AirSaber Elite X2 on a late season turkey hunt. This portion of Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you by Stealth Cam digital scouting cameras, high-vis shooting systems, see what you've been missing, and by Outdoor Action TV. Download and stream your favorite outdoor programming. Fishing and Hunting Texas will be right back.
Record Rack now offers a product you can run through your spin cast feeders that provides the benefits of corn to attract deer, while also providing the nutritional value of protein pellets. Most protein pellets were not designed to be used in a typical corn feeder, but this new blend from Record Rack is specifically designed for spin cast feeders to help in everything from attracting, antler development, and reproduction. Look for Record Rack's Apex Spin Cast the next time you're filling your feeders.
Season after season, the passion for the pursuit remains. With each new buck comes a new challenge, and with each day comes new photos and videos. Pieces necessary to solving the puzzle. Because as you grind, we organize. And as you dream, we capture and deliver, revealing the big picture in the palm of your hand. Stealth Cam, the leader in cellular trail camera technology.
Welcome back to Fishing and Hunting Texas. Well, we're done on the ranch in Deep South Texas, where Wade and the crew have spent the week putting the Umarex brand of air guns through their paces. Just before the break, using an Umarex AirSaber Elite X2 on a late season hunt, Wade made a solid shot, placing a broadhead right in the money on a nice South Texas buck.
Crushed him. I mean, we just crushed him. I mean, that is a cool big old 9-point. What an awesome morning. We're hunting. This is really cool. I mean, the Umarex AirSaber Elite 2. We've got 2 barrels here.
I picked up that AirSaber in the summer and was practicing with it, trying to learn more about it. As we got into a different window, I actually had gotten sick and had to get my appendix taken out and missed a couple, 3 weeks of hunting. And as we got into January, when this hunt was actually filmed, it just popped up that we had an option and an opportunity. And I decided to reach back and grab that AirSaber. I knew it wasn't gonna kick. I knew it wasn't gonna have any issues at all. I mean, I couldn't draw my compound bow right now. Probably don't need to be shooting a high-powered rifle and moving my stomach around. So this just made a ton of sense. Plus, I knew it was gonna be fun.
Oh man, what a deer, dude. What a buck.
Holy cow.
Oh man.
Ain't no ground shrinkage on him.
That's where the exit right there.
So you hit him where we thought.
Where we thought.
You made a perfect shot on him.
Golly, that is so cool. Thank you, buddy. We enjoyed that hunt a lot. He didn't go. That's probably 100 yards.
Yeah,
most,
yeah.
What a good buck. Good old dandy old buck too. What you want to get? Run down a little bit from the rut. I mean, the way he came out there this morning, the way that sun hit him and lit him up, and I've been laid up for about 3 weeks here with an emergency appendix deal, so it was fun to me to get back out. And we kind of debated on which stands to go to, and I'd say we made the right call on this one right here. That was
You
fun.
made the perfect call.
Yeah.
Man, I think he's actually bigger than what I thought. You know, I told you when I zoomed in on him when he had his head down, I could see a bunch of stuff on there. Been rubbing.
He was still rutting pretty good out there.
With a good buck down, it's amazing to see how far air guns have progressed. Set up with the right optics, the accuracy is unquestionable. And the knockdown power of the AirSaber Elite X2 is on par with any big game firearm.
This is basically the AirSaber except for your double barrel. So it's a double barrel arrow gun, and we're firing these babies out of here. They are smoking. One of the biggest things with this gun that I like is the fact that you get 2 shots in there. The follow-up shot can be less than a second later if you need it to be. If you notice up here at the top, I leave the little probe in there. Number one, it keeps the dust out of the little probe section, and on top of that, I don't lose it because I tend to lose things. So when I go out in the field, I might pull it off there because once I fill it up, you get 25 shots out of it, so I don't really do a whole lot. If I can't hit it in 25 shots, that's a whole nother show.
We just got into the air gun hunting world a couple of years ago. Kevin and Michael spent a week out here really kind of dialing it in and practicing and playing, and they had a lot of fun with it. So when it became my turn to grab an air gun, I was pretty excited about it. And I chose for my first hunt ever with one, the AirSaber Elite X2. I mean, this thing is just cool looking. I mean, what else can you say about it? You've got 2 arrows in the end of it. I mean, a buddy of mine said it looked like something that a underwater diver would be out spear gun hunting with, you know, for crazy fish. But we're deer hunting with it, or hog hunting, or you can shoot a turkey or an exotic. I mean, you know, based on whatever's in that season and within the legal means and methods where you are, this thing's a pretty diverse product to be able to go hunt with.
Hunting South Texas, if you play it right, you've got near year-round opportunities. Getting back in the field, Wade and Jeff Reynolds have the AirSaber Elite X2 in hand, and now their sights are set on a Rio Grande gobbler.
We've been in the blind for 15 minutes. Here comes the turkey, and I'm like, oh, turkey's me. I'm shooting a turkey. You know, when these turkeys start coming in, my heart's just sitting there about to jump out of my chest. And, you know, Wade's talking, oh, here comes, there's 2, there's 4, there's 7. He's talking to the camera. And I'm just over here like, just get on up here where I can get a shot. Come on, baby. Well, they come in and they come out on Wade's side right in front of him, you know, and I'm thinking, let him get over here. We've actually got a camera that Wade had put up in the brush, just trying to get a cool shot. You know, just make it funner for TV and give a different perspective to what we're doing. And so, sure enough, you know, we were patient. These turkeys just kind of milled around. So now I'm like, okay, don't mess this up. You seem good. Yeah, I got it good. Are you ready? Yeah. We'll let him get broadside. You good? Yeah. I pulled the trigger when I did. I mean, that arrow just flew through him so fast. I really don't think he even knew he was hurt. It just flew right through him. Well, he's like, shoot him again. I was like, I forgot I got 2 shots. Get it back up there, shoot him again. He's dead right there. Go get him, go get him. I still take off running out the blind to go jump on him because I've been down this road before. I don't want him to get away. That's my turkey. I love turkey hunting, and it was just exciting. I mean, it was so much fun.
We got him, Wade, we got him. I think for me, having the option to shoot with 2 barrels and it's a simple push a button and pull a lever, I think that's a pretty dynamic thing to be able to use when it comes to a hunting configuration, and something that, you know, just study the legal means and methods of where you're at and when you can actively use it, and go try it.
I mean, that's just...
The ability to shoot twice like that is
freaking
awesome. I could see the blood running down his leg.
I could too. But man, it just goes through him so fast.
It's so fast. You see him jump like that?
He jumped straight up.
I mean, being able to shoot twice, to me, I'm shooting everything till we got him.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's the last time I saw you shoot a stick at where a turkey was like 4 hours of tracking.
And then I got beat up by him.
Got beat up. Man, that's awesome.
Cool stories, great memories, and a little meat for the freezer, all courtesy of the Umarex AirSaber Elite X2. Learn more at umarexusa.com. All right, now coming up, we'll get back in the field with Umarex product expert Aiden Hansen and the Umarex Hammer Carbine. We're hunting whitetail with a .50 caliber air gun. This portion of Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. By Record Rack, Serious Nutrition. Strike King Lures and Tackle. And by Umarex Air Guns, rifles, pistols, and accessories.
High-vis sights are forged to be the brightest and most durable sights, no matter where you are. In the home, on the range, during competition, or out in the field. See what you've been missing with High-vis.
Our company uses Seafoam motor treatment in our fleet of trucks and all of our equipment. We've trusted using Seafoam in our fuel for years to keep our trucks running great, which has actually saved us a lot of money in gas and maintenance costs. Y'all just make a really great product that it works as advertised.
Help your engine run better and last longer. Go to seafoamworks.com.
Welcome back to Fishing and Hunting Texas from Wade Middleton's ranch in deep South Texas. We've spent the week putting Umarex air guns to the test in a variety of hunting situations. On hand, we've got Umarex product expert Aiden Hansen, and he's been a fountain of knowledge and expertise on the Umarex line of products. Wade and Jeff have both put the AirSaber Elite X2 to the test successfully. And now we'll rejoin Aiden as he heads back in the field. Hunting from a ground blind, Aiden's carrying the Umarex hammer.
Ground blinds are always challenging because you're at eye level with the animal. The brush is pretty thick around us, so you can't really see a whole lot coming in until they're right on top of you. You don't have that bird's eye view, I guess, if you will.
As we've already talked about, the Umarex hammer carbine is an updated, more maneuverable short barrel version of the original hammer.
The nice thing with the carbine is the fact that it's short. So if you're in a tighter area, you don't have to worry about the barrel. Like the barrel itself is chopped down, so you're looking at a 22-inch barrel. So you can move that thing around pretty quick. It's awesome.
Early on his morning hunt, it wasn't long before the first small buck appeared.
It's a big fork. Sitting there, got all situated, comfortable, check the chair, see how much creaking's going on, when we're sitting in the blind, because that's always a factor. And then I see horns. That's a little forking horn. So at first you see it, you get that little jump, and I got kind of excited. I was like, oh, this little guy. And the sun's starting to set. It's that point where the fire starts to happen. And there it was, I looked over, and I saw, oh, here it comes. And all you could see was the horns, they're just lit up. Started coming across, it was this nice 9-point. Good southern Texas deer. And we're hunting low fence out here, so it's opportunity. This deer was for me. Don't do it. And they're in close, they're eye level looking at you, and they're looking. We got a little bit of brush hanging in front of us, but the does wouldn't move. Everybody blows out, the dust kicks up. I call it the whitetail one last look. You get one shot there at the second. If you don't take the shot at that point, they are gone.
Pounded him. You pounded him.
God, that was close. That's a good deer. We've been sitting here sweating for like the last 2 hours. This guy just shows up out of nowhere, like boom, the sun's climbing. The sun's like, his antlers like they're on fire. Now comes the part we gotta go do some tracking. For a colorblind guy, this is gonna be fun, so.
I'm colorblind, so tracking can be a difficult thing. So one of my techniques that I use is I always try to find the trails, because when deer get hit, they tend to take the path of least resistance. And if the trail's already there, they're gonna run it. He comes through, takes off and goes right through here and cuts up. And then it looks like the straight shot from the trail was here. We started tracking, they jumped over the fence, so I started on that trail there and just started following a trail down until I got out into got more into the mesquites out there. We passed across the road and whatnot and got out there, and sure enough, as we there was an area there where you could see the horns laying on the ground, the sun was setting. It was a perfect evening hunt. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Oh, that's the first animal with the carbine. 50 cal hammer, carbine. Worked perfect. It was a blind situation. It's crazy. That shorter barrel helps move around. It's great. The shot was good. God, what a gorgeous animal. And you guys have had a drought down here. So to get one like this is definitely a treasure. What an amazing opportunity. You gotta drag it out, and you gotta clean it, and you gotta do all the other fun stuff too that goes along with that. It's just, you relive the experience. Even sleeping and thinking about it, you go over it in your head over and over again, so. But one of the most fun hunts I've been on in a long time.
The Umarex Hammer 50 caliber carbine was a champ on this hunt. The accuracy and knockdown power of the Umarex air gun is on par with any firearm. We also put the AirSaber Elite X2 to the test, and without question, the double-barrel broadhead situation is an unexpectedly awesome tool that will only add to your hunting repertoire. We encourage you to look them up at umarexusa.com. If you want hands-on or to order, check out Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's.com. That'll do it for this week's Fishing and Hunting Texas. To watch past episodes, look us up on Outdoor Action TV. Fishing and Hunting Texas is a Careco TV production.